The next problem is valid parenthesis, and it has been asked in Flipkart and many other startups. And this is one of the standard questions that interviewers would be asking you to check your basically stack data structure knowledge. We'll come to this part, but let's first discuss the problem. So we would be given a string S that will consist of some characters, which is opening bracket and closing bracket. And we have to determine if the input is valid or not. And there are two conditions. First, number of opening bracket must be equal to number of closed brackets. The second, the order should be maintained. What it means, let's see it by example. Here, number of opening brackets are 2. These two are opening brackets. And number of closing brackets are also 2. First condition matched. Okay, first condition is matched. Now, order should also be maintained. Order maintained means what? If we have this bracket, this bracket, this bracket, this bracket, order this opening bracket comes before this closing bracket. This opening bracket comes before this closing bracket. Right? Order should be correct. Otherwise, consider condition. We have one opening bracket, one closing bracket. But this is not balanced because order has not been followed. Okay. To understand this problem, we will just observe few of the things here. Okay. So to get this, we the first condition was the count of opening bracket must be equal to count of closing bracket. Right? Means if there are k opening bracket, there should be k closing bracket too. Right? So the total number of bracket would be k plus k. This is for opening, this is for closing. It comes to be 2k. 2k means it should be multiple of 2. So first I will check if length of the string. What I'll check if length of the string is coming out to be even. Okay. This one. If the length of the string is coming out to be even, we will check further. Otherwise, we will declare it unbalanced. There only. This point is clear because for a balanced parenthesis, we need to have two n elements. So if this is odd, the length is odd, it is unbalanced. Right. Now let's move to the stack part, stack data structure. We would be exploiting this stack data structure to understand our solution approach. So a stack is basically what? A stack is basically a last in first out data structure. What it means, whatever comes first would exit this data structure in last. Sometimes it is also called FILO, first in last out. Here we put element from the top and remove it from here only. It's like of a stack of disk. If you guys are from the era of having CD disk, there were some storage available in the market that is stored disks. We used to put our disks here, and the topmost disk would get out first. It is similar to that. So we will do what? We will check we will go one by one at all the elements. We will check if this is an opening type. If this is opening type, we will push it to the stack. Okay. Second one is curly braces. We'll push it to the stack. And bracket, whenever we encounter a closing bracket, we will check the top of the stack. If top of the stack is corresponding opening bracket, we will pop the top. Otherwise, we will simply return from there stating that this is not balanced because that will violate our order rule. Let's see some example. This one. Here, I'll go to the first element, which is this one. It is opening bracket. I'll push it. I'll go to here. It is curly bracket opening. I'll push it. I'll go here. It is closing bracket. Now we have encountered a closing bracket. We'll check the top of the stack. So top of the stack is currently this element. We'll check if this element is opening bracket of corresponding type. Means this is opening bracket. Yes. Curly bracket type. Yes. And the closing was of curly type. So we will pop this. Right. We will do what? Pop this one. So the stack would be now this one. And now we will move to last element. Now this is a closing type. Yes. We will check on the top of the stack. It is corresponding opening type. Right. We'll pop. And after doing all this operation, we will check if our stack is empty. If it is empty, it is balanced. Means if the stack is empty in the last, this means the string was balanced. Otherwise, it was unbalanced. Let's see one other example. This one. I ignore the values in. Okay, I'll just rewrite the input. Let's say this was the input. This was the string. At first, there was a curly braces. I'll put it on top of the stack. Then we encountered a closing bracket. And since we encountered a closing bracket, we will check the top of the stack if this is corresponding opening bracket. No. What it means? This means it cannot be balanced. I did need to check further because the order would not be maintained. Okay. So I will simply return false that it is not balanced because it will never be balanced. Okay. So our approach would be based on this only. And we will try to implement the solution.